This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
All right, everyone, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today on the program. I'm Adesu Sawage, and today on the program Healthy Living, we want to talk more about measles and rubella vaccine. What's the importance? Because a lot of persons have been complaining, and I have seen quite a number of persons questioning this new vaccine, you know, this 2-in-1 vaccine, questioning the vaccine, asking why measles and rubella should not be one vaccine. So we have two wonderful people in the studio that are going to be talking to us. So let me introduce the lady first, because you know how it is, ladies first in everything. Okay, join me as I make welcome Mrs. Efe Iyamo Elizabeth Iyabo. She's the Health and Care Coordinator of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, Edo State Branch, and Deputy Director of Public Health Nursing Department, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. It's so nice to have you join us. Should I call you Elizabeth or Iyabo? Which one should I take? Okay, Elizabeth. So it's so nice to have you join us on the show today.
Yes,
okay, so my brother, my friend, Dr. Esegbe Efelmo is the Director of Disease Control and Immunization, Edo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. So, Dr. Efelmo, it's nice to have you join us today.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay, so we're going to open our lines. The phone number will be on the screen for you to call in. Ask these two professionals on measles and rubella vaccine, because a lot of persons are talking already. You know, when you get information, when you get education on a particular issue, it becomes a lot easier. So this vaccine is not dangerous. Let me throw it to Dr. Efema. Dr. Efema, please tell us more about this measles and rubella vaccine. We've been talking about it on the program, but at least if you tell us more, we open our lines and people are able to ask you questions. At least it will go a long way to ease the minds of the people. So tell us more about this measles and rubella vaccine. Why measles and rubella vaccine?
Okay, thank you very much for this beautiful opportunity. Measles and rubella vaccine is actually not a new vaccine. It's been with us, and I'm sure most of our mothers know. And many people will know that there's a vaccine called the MMR, which is the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. This vaccine has been available with us, but it's you have to procure it on your own. But with epidemiological data across the country, the federal government had seen that we've been having rising cases of rubella. Before now, we couldn't really differentiate measles from rubella because their symptoms are very similar. Fever, cough, catarrh, body rash, even though rubella is milder in children under 5. So just a few years back, we've gotten the capacity to be able to test and confirm via laboratory tests that this is measles and this is rubella.
That's fantastic.
And if you look at the epidemiological map for the past couple of years, you see that we've been having rising cases of rubella. So this MRO that the federal government is rolling out now is not just for the fun of it. It's to ensure that we don't have an epidemic of rubella, especially affecting pregnant women, and you know the complications that could result in the congenital rubella syndromes, where children can be born blind, born deaf, born with cardiovascular complications, hole in their hearts, neurological deficit, and so on and so forth. So the federal government will not want to wait, and that's why, with support from development partners, these vaccines have been procured and are available across the country. So the rollout is just happening now in Edo State, in the southern part of the country. It has happened last year, October, in the northern part of the country, and it went very well. The vaccine is safe, certified by NAFDAC, and has actually been used by people, and we continue to use them. But the good thing about it now is that you don't have to pay for it anymore like they used to.
It's free.
Yes,
so Elizabeth, tell us about the success story, because I know that the flag off has already been done, and people are going around town to see the number of persons that will take this rubella or that are taking this rubella.
Okay,
Any success story, any challenges yet?
Thank you very much. We only have success story for now. No challenges. No challenges for now.
Okay.
I think maybe the only challenge we are going to get maybe after vaccination, maybe the minor AEF5 that normally follows vaccination.
Please explain that.
Which is expected, and it's going to, you know, for minor AEFI, it's going to also disappear after a few hours. So
the AEFI
is adverse event following immunization.
So that everybody will understand.
When we say AEFI, that is adverse effect following immunizations.
Okay.
Just like you take any other drugs, you know, anybody can react. This is the same thing with these vaccines, but they are just minor. Okay. Minor adverse effect, and it's not going to be for everybody that is going to be vaccinated. Okay. Just maybe 1% of, you know, the people that are taking these vaccines. And the success story we've had, at least for today, like today after the flag of many children were vaccinated with this measles, rubella
parents allowed,
yes,
parents
parents even followed them down, you know, to come and take these vaccines. And because the sensitization, we've also started our sensitization before now. Since last year sensitization, we started the sensitizations, and people are already aware about this measles rubella. It's not something that is just a certain thing. And mothers are aware, you know, fathers are aware. We've gone to schools, you know, to sensitize the school, to sensitize the parent, you know, to give consent, you know, for the people that will be coming to vaccinate these children, to allow them to vaccinate our children.
All right, we're going to take a very short break here. When we come back, we'll open our lines for calls. Okay, I know that some persons would like to ask questions on this measles and rubella vaccine. So let's take a very short break. When we come back, we'll open our lines for calls. The call line is on your screen right away, so you can copy it and quickly put that call across to us so that you can ask Dr. Fermo and Elizabeth here some questions. All right, they are experts in this field. I am not. Don't allow me give you a badabidi answer. So those that will give you the correct answers are here already. So we'll take that very short break now, and we'll be right back. Do stay tuned. All right, thank you for joining us again, and I'm talking with Dr. Fermo here and Elizabeth. They're experts on this field, and so we need you to talk to us. So, hello caller, good afternoon. Hello caller, good afternoon. Reduce the audio level on your television set and ask your question. Hello? Hello caller. All right, I don't know if that caller is not hearing me. The call number is right there on your screen. Please call us so that you can ask questions and get your answers as far as this measles and rubella vaccine is concerned. That's MR, right? Okay, you know, before now, the measles injection used to be on its own, rubella on its own. Why this combination now?
Okay, thank you very much. So, like I said earlier, that we have the capacity to detect rubella as separate from measles now. That's why federal government has procured the rubella vaccines to protect our people and to eliminate rubella and measles completely out of Nigeria. You know, we would not want a situation where the children are getting to receive so many vaccines.
Yes.
That could be discouraging.
Okay, doctor, let me pause you now. Let's quickly take this call. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from, and ask your question on measles and rubella. Okay, go ahead, Uche. Hello, go ahead, Uche. I can hear you. Hello, I can hear you. Okay, doctor, please continue while we wait for another call.
So,
I think there's a problem
the number
with the
of vaccines
yes.
that our children will have to receive. So those of them that have similar properties are combined. So we have the vaccine you call the pentavalent vaccine. It has 5 antigens in them. And the essence of vaccines is scientific and simple. It's to stimulate our immune response that God has put in our body to be better prepared for a disease.
I'm going to be interrupting you because of this call.
No problem.
So, hello, caller.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Please tell us your name and ask your question.
Okay. My name is Umogbe.
Okay. Okay. Ask your question. Well, I think we are having some kind of issues with this call line. Maybe they don't hear me, but I'm hearing them. Okay, doctor, maybe we should ignore these calls and just go ahead with what we have to do this afternoon. Okay.
So, like I said, God designed the human body in such an interesting way. You can either get immunity naturally or artificially. So that is why those of us in this part of the world are better immune to illnesses that are endemic around our environment. For instance, malaria. The way we would respond to malaria is different from the way a Caucasian who just came here. Because over time, we have gotten natural immunity over time. But it's not all illnesses that you wait to get natural immunity from, because for the first time, they could kill. So the reason why we have a lot of children living beyond their first 5 years of life is because of vaccines and antibiotics. So anybody rejecting vaccines now is not doing himself or the society at large good, because there's what we call herd immunity. If many of us are protected, that disease will not be able to penetrate that community. So that's why we encourage people, don't reject vaccines. These vaccines are thoroughly, the protocol for producing vaccines, the processes it passed, you can't find it just anywhere. And they are WHO pre-qualified. Even coming into the country, NAFDAC goes stringently to ensure that they are safe for our population. And this is what we use for all the babies and the mothers that come to all our health facilities on a daily basis. So our population is increasing is because we have better health care now than we used to have. So we encourage people to, because we don't want people to live in regret that this is something they could have prevented that was absolutely free, and then they're having children come down with those illnesses we try to prevent. I'm sure you don't see polio cases around the streets anymore, people walking with maybe one limb bigger than. It's actually because vaccines have helped us eliminate that from.
Okay, Elizabeth, let me ask you this question, because you are a woman. You know that once a woman is pregnant, there are so many myths and facts that accompanies that pregnancy. Some will say, don't eat okra, don't eat this, don't eat that. There are so many don't. Now, let's look at the issue of this vaccine for pregnant women. A lot of women will say to you, like the Hebrew women that will go and come back. Some would wait until it is just few minutes to delivery before they start looking for the nearest hospital to go to. So please talk to them about the need for this vaccine. And can a pregnant woman be vaccinated with this
measles rubella vaccines? Women cannot be, especially the pregnant women, they cannot be vaccinated with measles rubella vaccines. But we only ask them to vaccinate their children. And if a pregnant mother is contacted with this, especially the rubella virus disease, it's very, very dangerous. Just like Dr. Esegbe said, that it can lead to a lot of complications for the unborn child. Because if a woman come in contact with the person that has this rubella and she contacted this rubella, she will also transfer that same virus.
So how can a pregnant woman now protect herself against rubella? Because you may not know. You may take public transport, you can be in public places, you go to markets, you even go to hospitals, and there may be one or two with that kind of rubella problem.
That is why the safety
So how can she protect herself?
That is why safety precautions is also very, very important. So when a woman also, registered in an antenatal clinic where she's going to learn more about how to take care of herself when she's pregnant, she can also prevent it. There are also vaccines for pregnant mothers. There are also vaccines like the TD vaccines that we give to pregnant mothers to prevent them, she and the baby, from tetanus, diphtheria disease. So if a woman also, before she even get pregnant, there are vaccines that she can also take. Like when Dr. Segbe rightly said that we have these vaccines, MMR, though is for those that have the money to pay for the vaccine.
But now it's free.
But now,
good news.
Federal government have made it to be free for
everyone. any hospital you go to now, but not private hospital.
Not private hospital.
But people use private hospital more.
Therefore, this measles
these days because of strike and all of that.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Adesua. That was a very intelligent question to ask. So you see, we're having a catch-up campaign from January 27th to February 7th
tomorrow,
in the state.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
So the reason we're doing this catch-up campaign is to ensure that we mop up a lot of people who may put those pregnant women at risk. So
okay.
children aged 9 months who ordinarily should have their measles rubella
at 9 months.
to children aged 14 years will be receiving these vaccines to ensure that a protective shield is formed around our communities and the viruses don't find pathways to the pregnant women who are predisposed to having severe complications.
So, unfortunately, time is up so fast. So, what's the way forward now? Let me ask Elizabeth before I come to you, Doctor. Now, Nade is at the business.
Yes,
so, Elizabeth.
The way forward now is that the vaccination will start tomorrow, which is 27th of January. And we want every of our mothers, our parents, to allow them to vaccinate their children. They are going to
particularly
be going to
those
schools.
Ones in schools.
Yes, they are going to be going to schools, churches, mosques, and we're also going to have a fixed post in all our public hospitals, health institutions, the primary health care close to you. You can take your children
Doctor,
there.
what's the way forward now?
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to thank the First Lady of Edo State. She's been very supportive in helping us advocate and push this message. So we want to encourage parents, caregivers to avail their children aged 9 months to 14 years of these vaccines. Our teams, we have over 1,000 teams that will go across the state. They should receive these teams and receive the vaccines. They are trained.
And the vaccines are
safe,
free,
completely free
and
of charge.
Safe.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Ed Elizabeth, thank you so much for finding time to be with us on the program Healthy Living. Despite the little challenges, we're able to run the show. Don't worry, on Thursday we'll bring you a comprehensive edition on radio. So don't fail. Join us on Thursday at 3:15 p.m. for us to talk about measles and rubella vaccine. We'll see you again then. Bye-bye.
The Ugewe is the final ceremony of the series of festivals. It is one of peace and lightheartedness, following the more solemn of the ritual year. Ugewe is the festival of the Ewe leaves, a symbol of good luck and joy. It is the most popular of all that heralds the dawn of a Benin New Year, new vow, newness of life and freshness of life, and a new hope for the future. In the evening, the Ewe leaves are presented to the Oba of Benin in grand style in a colorful ceremony. The Ihogbe Society, amidst singing and dancing, bring the sacred leaves that symbolize good luck, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Each of the senior members of the Ihogbe proceeds to give the sacred leaves directly to the Oba of Benin, and others put theirs at his feet.
Omonoba Nedo Ukwakwalopolo Ewai II, Oba of Benin, performing during the 2025 Ododua Festival. Ododua Festival is unique as it was organized in honor of Ioba Omoni Hwoyeme, Ioba Ewai II, as part of activities for her burial rites. The rich traditions and cultural heritage of the Benin Kingdom was showcased when His Royal Majesty Ewai II engaged the floor to perform during Ugie Ododua in the palace ground in Benin City. In the dance performance, the Ogbelaka royal drummers supplied the needed impetus and rhythm for the dance. However, tributes are paid by the head of Benin deities to the monarch, who was the cynosure at the events. The event can best be imagined as the spiritual rejuvenation, stunned, spectaculars and guests at the colorful ceremony. 7 masquerades representing 7 spirits and deities conveyed different meaning in company with the head of the deities of Benin, with the Oba of Benin, who exhibited a grand cultural dexterity in his dance steps.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
Hello there. Welcome to the first edition of the program News Review in this month of February 2026. I am Deborah Iviogbe from Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Our first report for review says, the Senate on week on review resolved to deliberate in a closed-up session over an alleged breach of Nigeria's territorial integrity following December U.S. military airstrike on Nigeria soil. The developments raised concerns over constitutional procedure and national security oversight. The resolution followed a motion raised under matters of privilege by Senator Abdul Negi, who accused the executive arm of government of failing to carry the Senate along on the issue. Senator Negi insisted that the United States neither has the right nor the authority to carry out military operations on Nigeria territory.
Raising the matter under breach of privilege, Senator Abdul Ningi expressed strong displeasure over the United States airstrikes on Tangaza local government area of Sokoto State. Recall that on December 26, 2025, the United States military reportedly carried out airstrikes on some communities in Sokoto State. In his submission, Senator Ningi said the action amounted to a violation of the Nigerian Constitution as well as the United Nations Charter.
Even the president himself cannot and shall not, under this constitution, ask a foreign power from any part of the country to hit into Nigeria.
The lawmaker further warns the Senate of the dangers and consequences of remaining silent over such actions. In his response, Senate President Godswill Akpabio acknowledged the seriousness of the matter, but emphasized that issues bordering on national security are not suitable for open debate on the floor of the chamber.
Mr. President, if we allow these things to happen and we pass a law here that is detrimental to any powerful country, the next thing we hear is that President Akpabio has been hijacked and taken to Guantanamo.
On the pages of newspapers that the attack, I'm sure you are referring to what happened in Sokoto, happened with the concurrence and the collaboration of the Nigerian security services. We have also been so brief, but we need to brief you in closed session. We need to brief you in closed session. Security is not something that we speak in the market.
From Abuja, Charity Tanko, ITV News.
And back home in Edo State reported John Wikonda review. The students, teachers, and management of Army Day Junior and Senior Secondary School, Ekenwa Road, Benin City, commended Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo for the comprehensive renovation and remodeling of the school. The beneficiary described the newly remodeled classrooms, improved infrastructure, and conducive learning environment as a major morale booster for both the staff and students.
The remodeled Army Day Junior and Senior Secondary School, Ekenwa, is one of the key interventions of the Senator Monday Okpebholo-led administration in its ongoing infrastructure revamp of public schools across the state. According to the principal of the junior secondary school, Mrs. Itohan Emokbai Obebo, the intervention followed years of dilapidation and poor learning conditions, which posed safety risks to both students and teachers. The principal of the senior secondary school, Mrs. Joy Osakwe, also recalled that the school had suffered prolonged neglect, characterized by broken furniture, cracked walls, and inadequate facilities. She described Governor Okpebholo's intervention as a clear demonstration of his administration's commitment to quality education.
When this construction work started, we were amazed. September this year, the enrollment we had was amazing. School, as big as it is fenced round. So I will say that our governor, as the popular saying, we call him Akpako Rescue. He actually came here to rescue us. My students are happy, my teachers are happy, and I'm the happiest.
Some junior and senior secondary school students also expressed gratitude to Governor Okpebholo, describing the renovation as a dream come true.
The classrooms we had were overpopulated and really inconvenient for learning. We had less teachers, no library, there was nothing that had to do with lab or libraries. The school was really disappointing back then. Well, now the current change is really encouraging.
Governor Okpebholo's renovation of Amide Secondary School, Ekenwa, underscores his administration's broader agenda to improve educational infrastructure and ensure a safe, modern and conducive learning environment for students across Edo State. Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, Edo Sector Command, denied allegations of bribery and deliberate delays in the issuance and renewal of driver's licenses, following claims by residents who accused officials of subjecting him to days of frustration. The Deputy Corps Commander in charge of the Driver's License Center, Obiageli Iwaila, who spoke exclusively with ITV, maintained that there is no room for corruption in the license processing office.
Guy go to the road safety. Maybe the other man is spoken to that time. You see what I mean? People know the talk for camera, they know exactly what they are doing. I think that
a visit by the ITV News crew to the Board of Internal Revenue FRSC office on Forestry Road, following allegations by Mr. Mashido Ekagi of bribery and favoritism, was met with resistance as officials declined interviews and disallowed filming. This development further raised concerns over alleged irregularities at the center. Mr. Mashido alleged that he was left unattended for several hours during the renewal of his driver's license, despite arriving early at the center. He claimed that other applicants who arrived after him were attended to, raising suspicions of sharp practices and alleged bribery. Reacting to the allegations, Deputy Corps Commander Obiageli Iwala explained that the driver's license process is fully automated and applicants can only be captured after payment reflects on the national portal. She attributed delays to network challenges, noting that officials are unable to proceed without payment confirmation. She added that FRSC personnel also go through the same process and pay for licensed services without any special privileges.
Just hearing this story for the first time that there's mago. What happens is that some will pay, but because of network problem, it may not drop. Others on who have dropped will come, their own will be captured. That's the simple ideology. So it's possible that the person's own had not dropped. He will not understand. He will not feel there's pranks somewhere now.
The command advised members of the public to exercise patience and seek clarification whenever delays occur, assuring that the Corps remains committed to transparency and due process and service delivery. From Benin, Jola Dioju, ITV News.
The National Industrial Court of Nigeria, sitting in Abuja, ordered workers under the Federal Capital Territory Administration to immediately call off their ongoing strike and return to work during the week under review. The ruling was delivered by Justice Emmanuel Sabelim, who held that embarking on an industrial action while the matter is already before the courts amounts to an act of self-help.
the FCTA workers began the industrial action on January 19, 2026 over alleged unresolved welfare issues. These include a backlog of 5 months unpaid salaries, long-standing promotion arrears, and poor working conditions within the Federal Capital Territory. The strike was challenged at the National Industrial Court by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, who sought an order compelling the workers to return to their duty posts. Ruling on the application, Justice Emmanuel Subilim acknowledged that while workers have a constitutional right to embark on industrial action, such rights are not absolute. Quoting Section 18(1)(b) of the Trade Dispute Act, the court held that workers cannot lawfully embark on a strike over issues that have already been referred to the Industrial Court for adjudication. Justice Subilim further ruled that where a strike has already commenced on a matter pending before the court, such action must immediately cease. Consequently, the court ordered the protesting workers to suspend the strike forthwith and resume work. The defendant in the suit are the President and Secretary of Joint Union Action Congress, JUAC, Riftatu Loftia and Abdullahi Saleh. Following the ruling, counsel to the parties address members of the press.
The workers are law-abiding citizens. We are going to advise them to respect the court. The one good thing is that the court has also mandated that we should commence. It's not as an advice that we should commence mediation in line with the law. Now that we are in court, we are going to do the formal application where the media will also be part of it.
And then whether or not it's going to bind other unions, yes, other unions are there. There is always a process of commencing strike. This one commenced, there was negotiation going on and they went on strike. And court has told them to go back. Our plea to the union is that they should allow industrial harmony, they should go back to work and give opportunity for mediation.
The matter has been adjourned to March 25th for hearing on the substantive suit. From Abuja, Joseph Kadri, ITV News.
The management of Independent Television and Radio, led by the Managing Director, Engineer Elvis Obaseki, during a week-long review, got commendation for ensuring broadcast excellence in Nigeria. Stakeholders made remarks during the station's 2026 Stakeholders Engagement Meeting held at the Ehizwa Hub, Airport Road, Benin City.
The annual ITV and Radio Stakeholders Engagement Meeting provides a platform for the station to receive feedback from stakeholders and clients on ways to improve service delivery, while also expressing appreciation for their continued patronage over the years. On Wednesday, the chairman of the organizing committee and general manager, Group Commercial Services, Mrs. Odun Balogun, thanked stakeholders and clients for their unwavering support and patronage. She outlined the services offered by Independent Television and Radio, which has endeared the station to the society.
Your partnership is incredibly important to us, and we cannot take it for granted as we are poised to serve you better.
In his remarks, the Managing Director, Independent Television and Radio, Engineer Elvis Obaseki, assured stakeholders that their interest would always remain a top priority. He announced that ITV will review its payable rates for the first time in 5 years, effective April 1st, 2026, in consideration of Nigeria's current economic realities.
My dear stakeholders, to continue to deliver the best to our TV viewers and listenership, on whose commitment our partnership has thrived, we humbly and painstakingly need to make this most needed rate adjustment in this disruptive era.
Other notable speakers at the meeting included the Acting Zonal Director of the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Mrs. Helen Wanze, and the Edo State Zonal Director of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON, Mr. Tiamiyu Akim.
Your commitment to delivering quality content and also promoting local talent is truly commendable. We also commend you for abiding by the rules and regulations of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code. I wish to urge the stakeholders to please note that it's crucial to get our advertisement vetted by ACON before exposure.
The meeting also featured an interactive section where clients were given the opportunity to clear grey areas.
On behalf of NAPI and Images and Voices, I want to say a big thank you to ITV and Radio for taking the lead in terms of inclusive broadcasting in Nigeria.
Those staff that goes around to interview people, they are well cautious, disciplined, and vulnerable.
I cannot but talk about the changes in the administration, which Obaseki has taken up of late.
In response to stakeholders' concerns, Engineer Elvis Obaseki disclosed that ITV will provide sign language interpreters to cater to the hearing impaired. He also announced the availability of visuals of the popular radio breakfast program Man Around Town across Nigeria via local and digital platforms.
To whom much is given, much is expected. We will do a lot more.
The Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Lady Celerina Ojomo, in a vote of thanks, expressed gratitude to the founder of the station and Esama of Benin, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Igbenedion, and the stakeholders who attended the event.
Without you, I don't think there will be us, ITV. So I say thank you very much.
The meeting was attended by several dignitaries, including the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Honorable Dennis Idahosa, represented by his Chief Press Secretary, Friday Agedo. From Benin, Joy Obaisiagbon, ITV News.
Also during the week on Diary Review, we reported by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, again called for the striking staff of the Federal Capital Territory Administration to return to work, saying his administration is open for dialogue. The minister made the call Thursday last week during the official handing over of the 12 new ambulance buses to federal public hospitals.
That is the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, officially handing over 12 new ambulance buses to FCT public hospitals. But speaking earlier, the minister devoted over 95% of speech to matter bordering on the ongoing strike action embarked upon by staff of the administration. Blowing both hot and cold, the minister says his administration is open for engagement with the workers while also insisting on compliance with the directive of the National Industrial Court.
The whole essence is to have dialogue where there are problems, is sit down and say these problems, I can solve this now, leave this for me tomorrow, I'll be able to solve that tomorrow. If you are really sincere, if there's no objective behind it, there's no way you will not accept.
He also took time to praise his administration for doing more for the workers since his assumption of duty, while insisting that he cannot solve all problems.
Let me just tell you this, nobody can solve all problems. And people take this for granted that even if you give a president 40 years, life president, people like Museveni, Uganda, they can't solve all problems in terms of paying allowances that were there before we came. Nobody went to strike, even though those debts were being owed. But thank God, to the glory of God, that we'll be able to pay off all these debts.
Minister Wike also noted that his frequent visit to Rivers State does not affect his work in the FCT. From Abuja, Abigail Adiremi, ITV News.
Igbenedion Education Center, Benin City, during the week on Diary Review, joined 122 nations worldwide in celebrating and honoring the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the African-American civil rights leader who fought for racial equality, justice, and nonviolent social change. The event marking the institution's 33rd annual commemoration of Dr. King's life was themed, "The Time is Right to Do What is Right," and featured a colorful presentation by students.
Born on January 15, 1929, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights leader who challenged racial discrimination and championed equality and justice through non-violent resistance. Although he was assassinated in Memphis, United States on April 4, 1968, his courage to stand for change continues to be remembered and celebrated globally. Igbenedion Education Center has since 1994 commemorated Dr. King's life and achievement as a focal point of learning and inspiration for students. During the 33rd observance, the head boy, Ari Dehe, portrayed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., reenacting his famous freedom speech for the students.
I have a dream that one day down in Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of oppression. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
The celebration continued with pupils of Matsuri recounting Dr. King's assassination alongside displays of political activities, speeches, poem renditions, and characters representing notable past national and international leaders.
Group, AD Party, from the government of the Western region. Rosa Parks teaches us to be courageous and brave because she fought for what was right.
A keynote lecture on the theme, "The Time is Right to Do What is Right," was delivered by Professor Aigo Satile Otohile.
You must plan to succeed. If you fail to plan, then you have planned to fail.
Edo State Commissioner for Education and Chairman on the occasion, Dr. Paddy Yamu, encouraged students to dare to dream and honored those who placed first and second in the National Basic Education Certificate Examination.
On behalf of Edo State, we'll give to you the sum of 500,000. Give you 600,000.
Goodwill messages were delivered by Deputy Chairman, Ibenedion Education Center, Lady Sherry Ibenedion, represented by Director of Administration, Pastor Angela Ibenedion, as well as the Deputy Chairman too, and House of Representatives member, Honorable Omosede Ibenedion.
Ibenedion Education Center joined the rest of the world today to commemorate the timeless values that is so radiantly defined in Dr. King's character.
To the students of Ibenedion Education Center, believe in yourselves and never forget that leadership begins with service.
Former chairman of Ovia North's local government area, Charles Ibenedion, was also in attendance. From Benin, Jola Diojum, ITV News.
In case you're just joining us, the program is News Review. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, the program News Review will continue. Please to stay tuned. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the program News Review. Now moving on. The Delta State Police Command January Konda Review arrested a 20-year-old suspect over the alleged murder of his friend, a former roommate, following a dispute linked to internet fraud activities. The spokesperson of the command, SP Edafe Bright, disclosed this while parading the suspects at the command headquarters in Asaba.
According to the public relations officer of the Delta State Police Command, SP Edafe Bright, the suspect, Ogene Gary, age 20, allegedly murdered his longtime friend, Courage, age 25. Both individuals were said to be residents of Ugele North local government area of the state. The police spokesperson disclosed that the disagreement between Ogene Gary and Courage arose over an online transaction valued at $1,000. SP Edafe Bright explained that the confrontation later degenerated into a physical altercation. The suspect allegedly struck his friend on the head. The victim was later confirmed dead.
They went to the business of internet fraud, and somehow they had a transaction conflict. One thing led to another. He confronted the late guy. They had a fight, and they used something that looked like a small shovel or a battle axe on the head of the victim.
Suspect narrates his involvement in the crime.
Something they okay, but now actually look, it's not collect the thing come outside. I mean, I carry the thing, let me collect my own come outside. As one ship, not take quarter, which obviously my own long pass with it. Not use it to whip and direct. Then I don't know, I've been at 8 night, so now last, so they got really go to acquire 9 president in 8 nami code.
The Delta State Police Command has urged youths to shun courtesy and all forms of criminal activities, describing the incidents as a painful reminder of how quickly anger and involvement in crime can destroy lives and families. From Asaba, Genga Hamed, ITV News.
In the same vein, the Lagos State Police Command arrested one suspect in connection with a bomb threat message circulated on 21st of January 2026, targeting 3 schools in Ikeja and 1 in another area. The State Commissioner of Police, Jimo Moshood, during a press conference at the command's headquarters in Ikeja, said it also arrested 21-year-old suspects involved in conspiracy, kidnapping, and robbery at Idimu, Alimosho, local government area of Lagos State. Ahead of the kickoff of the 3rd edition of the Kada Unity Corps for military and paramilitary personnel in Edo State, Organizers have officially presented jerseys to participating team as a ceremony held at the Calder Plaza, Sapele Road in Benin City. Representatives of the 12 participating teams were present at the event, which also served as formal build-up to the competition scheduled to commence on Monday this week.
The military and paramilitary football tournament, tagged the Kada Unity Cup, is the brainchild of former Edo State Governor Chief Lucky Igbenedion. The competition aims to foster unity and cooperation among security agencies through sports. Since its debut in 2024, the tournament has continued to strengthen the bond among participating outfits. Speaking during the 2026 draw ceremony, Chairman of the Edo State Football Association, Fred Newton Erunse, expressed appreciation to the donor and former governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Igbenedion, for sustaining the initiative. He noted that this year's edition promises to be exciting and revealing, with the addition of 2 new teams, bringing the total number of participants to 12. He assured that officiating will meet the highest standards as professional referees will be deployed, adding that the tournament is steadily gaining national and international recognition, with the final of the last edition broadcast live on DSTV.
We are kicking off 1st of February, and it's good for you to know your opponents and to know your group, and as well to know the rules and regulation that is going to cover this year's event. His Excellency is very, very keen about how this tournament is going to go this year.
The Vice Chairman of the Edo State Football Association, Paul Ojeseroba, coordinated the draw, which produced 4 groups with 3 teams each.
Each team will play each other in the group stage, and at the end of the group stage, 2 teams qualify. As the top 2 teams, the first and the second teams qualify for the quarterfinal stage. The quarterfinal stage will comprise of 8 teams. So 8 teams will then slot it out to the semi-final stage, and then to the third place at the final stage.
Representatives of the various participating organizations were present at the ceremony, with some seeking clarification on grey areas. Members of the local organizing committee were also in attendance. Teams participating in the 2026 edition include the Nigeria Army, Nigeria Police Force, Department of State Services, DSS, EFCC, Nigeria Immigration Service, NGLEA, NSCDC, Nigeria Correctional Service, Federal Fire Service, and the National Youth Service Corps. The Nigerian Police Force are the defending champions, having defeated the NSCDC in the 2nd edition. From Benin, Efosa Wangwe, ITV News.
With that report, we call it a wrap on today's edition of the program News Review. Do not forget to keep it to test next week Sunday. We shall be bringing the program News Review again. I am Deborah Ivie Ugbefon. I'll see you next week. Do have a lovely week ahead. Bye for now.
This is ITV. Certainly the best. This is ITV. This is ITV. Certainly the best.
Barrister, you just mentioned women in such situation. It's very important to prioritize them first. Where do you think they can go to get this counseling or being able to be spoken to and allow them to take a decision on what they want to do?
Okay, I think in Lagos there are a lot of report agencies in terms of rape. We have a whole lot of foundations that take care of rape victims, you know, even for the married ones. There are a lot of agencies in Lagos that take care of something like that. So they could approach any one of these agencies. I think their numbers are online, they're everywhere. You could just Google it and then call the number. That is the first step. And then from there, they take it from there. They take you through counseling and all of that. So apart from that, you know, the legal aspect is also there. When something like that happens, you have to, you know, go to court to try to get the victim justice from there and all of that. And that is also going to add to the trauma, you know, having to come to court and then relive the situation all over again, even if you want to keep the baby. It's not as easy as it seems.
The situation will keep coming fresh.
It should keep coming because by the
Okay,
time
but
they
that's a
address the
situation
issue-
where you know the rapist. That's a situation because some of these people just do and take off. You might not know who exactly the person is.
That is true. So that is also one of the reasons why it's important they reach out to these agencies, these foundations, you know, for help. And many of them are free. You know, they do their thing
Can
based
I
on...
suggest that? I don't know all those foundations. About those, to me, I feel that the clinics, every clinic in
Should
Nigeria
have a-
should have a counselor before you even want to carry out. Let them fully assess you, your situation, just in case you might change your mind and have a positive
one-on-one
in it.
talk
Just
with
in,
you,
yeah, because they might not want to reach out to anything, but it's going to be at the point where you're about to go and do the abortion and everything. I think there should be in all the clinics that are doing it a place where they can have both ways. And this is the positive, this is the disadvantage.
part of
Yeah,
it,
that
yes.
you know, and talk to the husband, counsel them, and say, you know, see whether they can keep the child.
You just brought in a good aspect of this conversation, which has to do with the husband. You said the husband. Now, in Africa, do you think any man would want to stay with a wife who was pregnanted by a rapist?
A true African man will not, if you ask me. A true African man with pride. The average African man is with full pride.
What has pride got to do with
It is, because when you bring such a thing and the man ordinarily may want to, you know, accept, maybe after the agreement with the wife. But when you think of what family will say, what will I tell my family? What would the society say? You know, some men with their pride wouldn't want to, you know, be associated with such
To me,
thing.
that's no pride. That's being a coward.
Mm.
Because it's not about you.
Okay.
Whatever happens, you're in a marriage with somebody,
Mhm.
right? And then this happens to your wife. So what is it to be your ego? What has your ego got to do with the situation?
That is
To
what
me,
we're talking
nothing
about.
to
That's
do
an
with
African
it.
man for you. African man will not say they're coward. You can never see an African man that will tell you, you know, oh, he's a coward. It's pride. There are certain things they would have accepted or agreed to do ordinarily without raising any shoulder. But because of the pride in them, they wouldn't.
Well, that's true. The stigma
Yeah.
that is attached
The
to
community.
it.
Yeah,
Community.
and you know, the people know how to actually you know, to call their names. You can just be going on the road and the next thing somebody is pointing at you. And this is. How many people can take that? Except you are this. You must be very enlightened and well read to accept some certain things.
Anyways, this is so sad, you know, talking about it and just visualizing if it's real, what will the woman be going through? Because all this affects the woman more.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
of this affects the woman
Yeah,
more.
a lot.
Psychologically, mentally, what we should be
Physically,
going through.
emotionally.
That's why I said
That could even lead to
prioritizing the
suicide.
woman.
Yeah.
Yes, that could lead to suicide. You know, you just be wondering.
It
you know,
will- it will
it's not
traumatize
enough
her.
that I'm raped and then I'm pregnant on top of
Pregnant.
all. You know. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's leave DNA, pregnancy to all those that it concerns. Yes, okay. So let's move on to, we're talking about women, we're women seated here, conversing, talking about women. What barriers do you think exist for women in leadership? Let's take example, or taking a look at Senator Natasha, being a woman in the House of Senate and all what she went through. Do you think it was a barrier that made her to go through that? do you think is a man's world, like the men would say it? Okay, the House of Senate is the man's world, so she has no right to speak whatsoever. What's your think?
I think obviously we are in Nigeria, and then if you look at the political space, right, of how the gender balance in the political world, you can see that we've never had a female president. And aside that, if you're checking the number of people in the Senate, men are more than the women. So this gender imbalance is already a male-dominated sector in the political world, where women's voices are being suppressed. And so, the fact that she came out to say, what was done wrong to her, she came out and then she was really, bold enough and courageous enough to take that, ahead, that thing. That is just the exceptional thing about her that every other woman should emulate, because not everybody would come out. That silence part is what kills women the most.
Yeah.
This happens to me, I will lose my job. She didn't care about whatever anybody has got to say. She just was courageous to say whatever has happened, the way it happened, and I'm going to fight until my voice is heard. So I think that is one of the barriers, being that gender imbalance. You're in a place where men are male, they are more dominating, in a particular sector. You find yourself in that particular situation. So yeah.
I have something I want to say. I love Natasha. I love her boldness. I love her courage. She did not just stand up for herself, if you ask me. She stood up for every African child. She stood up for every African girl child out there. You understand? Generation unborn will come to hear of this situation that happened to her. In the House of Senate, I think we have like 3 or 4 women. They did not just, they tried to oppress her, to suppress her, to intimidate her. To top it all, they bullied her. She was thrown all sorts of pebbles. But what did she do with it? She built her strength with all the pebbles they threw at her. She's a source of inspiration, encouragement to every African child. The bully was just too much. I salute her courage. She was courageous enough to speak. Even when they bully her up to this time of resumption, they did want her to resume. You understand? She kept talking. She kept speaking. Why are they always bullying the woman? Why are they always silencing the woman? They don't want the woman to speak. There is no nation that can strive and succeed without a woman. When it's time for election, they come back to the women. When it is time for voting, they come back to the women. And when it is time to speak, to share the national, to build the nation.
Go ahead and say it.
They want to sideline the woman. I like politics. I would have been in politics by now because I actually work with politicians. But I'm not there because they will call you names. They will tag you names because they see you as maybe you're a woman, you shouldn't be here, you should be at the back, you shouldn't be speaking. But they have an opinion.
In the other room.
Exactly. You can be seen, but not heard.
You can be seen and not heard. And not everybody are wired like that. Some people are wired to be heard. Some people are wired to speak, not for themselves, for their generation. Just like Natasha did. Natasha did not speak for only herself. She spoke for a lot of women out there. Natasha has given voice to the voiceless. So women in their offices, in their corporate organization, cannot speak. Look at the case of the national NYSC gay. She was able to speak. Though she will be bullied, but she spoke. And whenever you speak, you have the courage to stand up and speak for yourself and for your fellow women. Be bold enough to chase whatever comes out of it.
I am smiling. You know why I'm smiling? When you said kudos to Natasha. I love when women are given the opportunity or praised when they do something good. But I've just been told that we're going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay.
I wanted to add something.
Go to my page. I posted Natasha. I am for Natasha. And I want every Natasha out there.
She came out because one of the senators wanted to start to sleep.
Any advice? Are we getting wrong?
No, we're going. Let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Women in Conversation here on ITV. I mean, we've been enjoying the discussion. We're talking about the barriers that women that exist in women in leadership, and we're looking at Natasha as a case study, Senator Natasha, and of course Edith has just broken it down. I was just smiling all through because I get excited when I hear that a woman stood up for her fellow women.
Oh yeah.
But Abiodun, let me come to you. A lot of people said she made a mistake by taking it out of the country. You know, she went on the, was it the UN thing and all that? And so people said she shouldn't have gone there to speak, that she should have remained in Nigeria and fight the battle here back home. What's your take on that?
No, I would say, Natasha, well done, because, yeah, because there was not...
Kudos, Mama!
Women don't have that voice.
They don't have it.
Here. In United Kingdom, in United Nations, they will hear her out. And to me, she's very brave.
Yeah.
Very strong, because she could have been killed or assassinated, but God kept her. So to me, I just look at it, you know, what kind of, you know, I've heard my sister said, and the barrister, and Patricia said, you know, about her courage and everything, but at the end of the day, you said something about generation, yeah, because to me, yeah, I want, when I leave this earth, when I die, what legacy are you leaving? What are people going to say about you that matters? So even if she died in that process, at least you hear of different stories of people that have died in the process for the sake of many people. So basically, she was a deliverer.
Yeah.
She started the process. Whereas still, as we said, there's still many people not in positions, women not in positions that they should be, because we're way behind. In the Senate, we've got 3 women.
Can you imagine
There's
that?
more women in this country than men. So where is their voice?
Yeah, be silent.
Inequality, you know, it's been oppressive. So, you know, so they need to come out and start to put women in the rightful position. Yeah? And then the quota should be fair. It's unfair. It's unfair. So where is the women's voice? So, you know, with the situation that happened, it must have happened for a purpose, for a reason, so that the eyes of the government can open and start to see that there's inequality, there's unfairness, and the courts, you know, it's not. They need to put women.
I think
back in positions.
the men really have to do much. You should treat a woman the way you want another man to treat your girls or your wife or your children. If you bully the woman, another man may also bully your wife or your daughters. You understand? They should stop the bullying. They should allow the women to
this
speak.
thing that you just said, then you said the men should stop the bullying. I just want to point something out to you, that I hope you know that if there are 10 bullies in the political sector, 5 or 6 will be men and the rest will be women.
For fellow women.
Because women are competitors against themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that is
There's something with language we used to speak in school, they Okpoyo, no, they like Okpoyo.
So that is something that, because even the Natasha case, I think
The women
they
stand
paid,
up for her.
They didn't stand up for her.
They paid other
some
women
to
to
protest
speak against her.
And they went on the protest.
So, and those women will stand up, and they are even more, you know, bitter than the men that she did.
But why is it like that? That's it.
That is the
brings
problem.
me to the next question. That brings me to the next question. How can women stand in solidarity with each other?
Enviness will not allow them.
Exactly.
Enviness.
Jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy.
Envy, because I think
unnecessary competition will not allow them.
Bring in pride.
Unnecessary competition
Women are
will not allow them.
competitors. You feel like because normally, you could see that first of all, women compare their bodies. That is something that, if you're even talking about the issue of body shaming, you see a lady just pass, and then 2 people are like, why is she this way?
See her stomach, see her
and
head.
And this
see-
girl,
And the man will look away. The man will just look and look away and will start saying any word.
exactly.
The woman can't hold her
woman
mouth.
will be the one to criticize.
A fellow
So
woman.
I feel women are also the issue, because there's no unity amongst us.
They say
There's
now who no
form
man the
of-
key man. Now the woman that is a fellow woman.
There's no form of unity, and that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Women have to conquer that thing so that you can be able to embrace ourselves, support ourselves. Because I've even experienced it, even in the legal sector too, as well. You find out that people who even criticize you more might even be the women. Tell you, I won't do it this way, I won't take it this way. There's no form of unity. So if we can come together as one, that is what's going to, at least first of all, because they said, what's that saying? That united we
We stand, divided we
exactly.
fall.
So just imagine if 80% or 90% of Nigerian women
supported Natasha. Oh, she would have gone to.
She wouldn't even need to go
to outside the country.
To UN.
Anyway, you said unity. That one says unity, we can stand solidarity for one another. What's your own?
Stay unity. When there is unity and we speak.
But you started with enviness.
Oh.
Yes.
You know, you are going the other way now. Why I said some women don't support others because of enviness. Like she said, when they see you doing something, instead of them to support you, they rather talk you down. And when you ask them to go for something like that, they won't. They won't do it. They won't allow you to do it. They will feel jealous. They'll feel they should be the one getting it. They should be the one there. Ask them to go, you see, they will draw back. There are some people that are very good in layback. You know, there are some people that like to come up and do something. When you cannot do something, why don't you support the person that is doing it? When you are not bold enough, you are not courageous enough to speak out, why don't you stand beside or behind the person that is speaking out and cheer the person up? That goes a long way.
Okay, we have 2027 elections coming by. I mean, we're sitting here now to discuss women not supporting each other. What are those measures do you think we should put on ground to be able to have more women in the political field?
Okay, that's why, you know, when we talk about the issue of that unity, it's something we don't have as women. If you bring up a female candidate and say, oh, she's well educated, she's good for the job, 80% of women will tell you no. They will look for the flaws, what she does not have. That is what they will focus on.
Nobody's complete and nobody's perfect.
They will now project and amplify your flaws. So that the men can now talk.
Abiodun, are you going to say amen to that?
No.
Are you going to say amen to that?
No, I'm looking at how we can solve this problem.
Good, yeah.
Because, you know, envy, jealousy, where is it getting us?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Biting. And then when you're looking at 2027 elections, I'm just looking, is there a women's party? Is there anything where, you know, I'm not saying we should be divided with the men, but where, you know, there's a woman that can even join
a political party.
Yes.
You're talking about so there should be a political party for women.
Yes.
Just only women.
Just not.
No, not
I
just
don't know how you
women.
do it, but where at least
more women,
we can have a voice and then probably join to, because the way they do it in the UK, once you have a party and then the group and you have enough quota, we're more than the men. Yeah. And we're in unity.
Statistically,
there's no way PDP or whatever, they will not come to join, because you will not win the elections unless they join, because you have to place them. Is that right?
That's where they divided. That's because we have no unity.
So I'm not saying where.
Hold on a minute. Yes, go ahead.
If I'm making sense here.
Yeah, you are.
That's what I'm saying. Where we can join together and as a voice, that you need to put us in positions so that we can have a voice and make change, because you've led us all this while. Where has been the improvement? Maybe if a woman is there, because we give birth, we have compassion, and I don't know, there's something that goes in our veins that we will not allow to happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know, because behind every successful man, there's a woman.
Beside every successful man, not even behind anyone.
Beside, thank you. You corrected me. I just feel that this thing is touching me like this, because I just feel that, so where are the women? You are saying that we're not in positions and we're not, but what are we doing about it? What are we doing about it?
Okay, what are we going to do about it was the question I actually asked. 2027, it's close by. I mean, the year is running out, and you know how we do our politics in Nigeria and Africa. 2026 will be dedicated to 2027, you know. Politically, everything will start happening, who is coming on board and who is not coming on board. What do we do to get more women to come on board on this trip?
Okay, I think just the way we're here and we're trying to orientate, you know, because of course there are women who will be watching, women who are interested in politics, or even those even already in politics, you know. I think because if you check out of 10 men in power, you will still see one woman, because that is what they do. They try to balance it up, improperly.
Yeah,
yes,
they do.
That's what they do.
They will not use the woman to hold the women, the market women association.
Every 10 there's one woman.
Yes, in power.
And they do it.
Yeah,
they do. In Nigeria.
Yes, they do it.
They do it.
They will just make that one.
That's what I said.
Yeah, maybe.
They may not be in the Senate.
Yes, there are women who have that power.
To mobilize for them.
To create this political party idea you're talking about. There are women in power who can make that happen. You know, so the few who are up already, who are up the ladder, should be able to at least be liberal when another woman or women who come forward, instead of talking them down or letting the decision of the men overrule your own decision, because that's what happens, because they report back to these men in power.
I don't think with what we have would do that part, because if that was the case, how many people supported Natasha?
I was going to come there. I mean, even the few women in the House of Senate didn't speak for her.
That was so disheartening.
They didn't support her. They didn't speak for her.
It was so disheartening.
So she was standing alone.
All alone.
That's the issue. So that's why orientating, at least for them to know that there's nothing you gain from hating her. Although what they could gain financial gain, because
like Barrister said,
that's it. Appointment
like
gain.
Barrister said, I think I will further buttress that there should be sensitization. The women are women that are already up there, political leaders. They should sensitize the general public. They should be an amplifier. They should be a voice for the upcoming women. You understand? If they put out a jingle, it's not a bad thing for women to come into politics. And anybody that venture to go into politics, there should be a support. There should be moral support. There should be, if need be, there should be financial support for any woman that come up into political space. You know, there are few women in the political space, and when you are up there, don't pull down any woman that is coming up. Give the opportunity to come and meet you. If they come there and meet you up there, you never can tell how they will support it and make the more the merrier.
I'm going to say this. It's not all the women. It's not 100% we're talking about. We still have some women that their heart is so beautiful and they are ready to pull other women up. But like we said, the percentage is low. The highest percentage are those women, body-shaming women, those women that are not standing for women, those women that are not going to support women, those women that will ask, what's she coming here to do? Those women that feel envious and those women that feel threatened. You know, some women are threatened. Even in your workspace. I have been in a workspace where my colleague was just threatened by me.
By your presence?
Yes. And she was going to do everything to bring me down.
Yeah. Wow.
So I saw this from the day one, and I worked with sense and wisdom. Let me put it that way. So I didn't give her the opportunity to do that, even though she tried. She did everything to want to put me down, body shaming, not allowing me speak when I want to speak. She's like, excuse me, I don't think you're doing it the right way. Let me see.
They always know it all. They always know it.
Yes, they always know.
They want to be. They want to shine. They want to outshine you.
The issue is fear.
That's what I said.
The thing is that
women are scared.
Yeah. No, that wasn't fear. That was envious.
No, I'm saying in the
fear and envious.
Even
you're going to take up.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, they want to shine alone.
An introverted person, I don't think you would have even been able to stand up to her or something.
You just
go
shrink
back into your shell.
You just shrink, and that's it.
Can I say something to all women? Let's appreciate each other. Let's be content with ourselves and do our best to encourage everyone. Because to me, when you say somebody's going to take somebody's position, because I hear it a lot and I've experienced some things, and I said that, listen, if you do your best in wherever you are and be who God has called you to be, whether you encourage the person that is ahead of you, because as you serve, even the Bible, as you serve them, God will promote you. And if it's not your space, don't go there, because you don't know that by you going there, it can harm you. So just be content where God has placed you. Let me encourage those that are ahead of you.
Let me add to what you just said. To my fellow women out there, please support every woman that you see. Lend a voice, lend a helping hand. You women, take care of yourself. Relearn, unlearn, and make sure you put yourself in a position where you'll be accepted. We shouldn't talk down our fellow woman, and don't body shape any woman. Don't body shape any woman. Every woman out there was created by God Almighty. You cannot create a soul. Yes. So the soul that you cannot create, don't body shame that soul. Thank you.
And they should also remove the issue of tribe.
Chisom, I was going to come to you because everybody has just advised you. Yes, so please look straight to the camera and give your own advice.
Okay. So I was flowing with what Princess was saying, because if you were just saying, please love one another, it's not going to work. I mean, they've heard this saying countless times, millions of times. Ladies, there's a lot of women program. Let's come together, let's come together. But you have to take this thing seriously. Remove the issue of tribe and every other discrimination and segregation.
Tribe and religion. Tribe and religion.
She's Muslim. I can't associate with her. This is how they behave. I can't associate with this person. She's from so state.
We have just been indicated that time is up. I mean, time gets up when it's getting interesting. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, we are all women, and we serve just one God. Love one another. That's what Abiodun has said. Your last words, Abiodun.
Yeah, I would just like to say that, as we say, love one another. And again, every woman, you have a gift, you have a calling. There's something that God has created you to do before you were formed in your mother's womb. Try and find out that gift, try and find that calling, and be the best woman, be the best sister, be the best wife, be the best person that you can be. Just do your best.
Be the best
eliminate
person.
Anything.
Thank you, Abiodun. Be the best person. Your last words, please.
I would say a woman will shine, but many women will shine brighter.
Your last word.
Okay, my last word will be remove the issue of fear. You want to come out for election, you want to come out in your school, in your church, you want to come out for any position, take away the issue of fear. Be bold, be courageous, and make sure that there is nothing that is going to stop you. Don't look at what people say or what anybody thinks about you. You have your own uniqueness, just the way Abiodun said. So I think
yes, we've come to the end of today's program. Thank you, Abiodun, so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope when we call on you, you'll be back here. And then Chisom, I mean, you took your time off as a barrister, your busy schedule. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And to you, Princess Edith, I know how busy you are making people beautiful. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Anyway, we've come to the end of today's program. Yes, thank you for being with us. We'll be here same time next week. My name is Patricia Ureno Gabriels.
Thank you.
ITV, certainly the best.